Alright everybody, what's up? Donovan here. So today's the day. Today is the day that I finally get off my butt and I start doing something with the black WRX that's been sitting back here for the last few months. I'm currently working on getting the video of me doing the transmission swap, which didn't have much of the swap itself, just me taking things apart and then all of a sudden it's done, but whatever. So starting off, I already got my coffee, backyard's mowed, so I already got the mower and the pit bike out of the garage. I got to move the Impreza back down the driveway. I need to get the STI and the Razor out. So I'm going to back this down, pull the STI in front of it. I'm going to have to use the Razor to pull the WRX to the top of the driveway, and then I'll be able to kind of push it back and roll it down the driveway into the garage and hopefully into the right position. That way I don't have any problems getting the Razor back in, because the STI doesn't need to go back in the garage. I should have enough space to kind of work on the car and you know, get the Razor in together. So yeah, let's see if we can do it. I think we can. All right, that open. Man, I really need to rebuild this fence. Oh no, my shoe slipped off. All right, there's no point in really recording moving all this, so we'll just do this. All right, so that wasn't too hard. I actually ran this up the street because I haven't driven it in a long time. The two Subarus are parked out front, but we now have this in the garage, and you can see a little bit of coolant dripped out of the block, so we'll have to clean that up before we let the dog out. But yeah, this is it. I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but I did just pick up a new engine hoist and the new engine stand, because my other stand over here, it currently has an engine on it. That's the original EJ253 out of the silver Subaru. It's in the front yard, and that just needs re-gasketed. Other than that, it's still good. So let's take a look, make sure everything is going to work well. This is what needs to come out. Luckily, a lot of this stuff is already undone. There's no battery in it. We'll have to take the fuel lines off, you know, the heater core lines, AC compressor, unplug the rest of the engine harness, unplug that, and then trans bolts. Oop, dropped something. Trans bolts, power steering, AC, I don't know if I said that, and then motor mounts and pitch stop mount. And after that, I mean, shouldn't be too hard to get out and take too awful long. So this time I will actually do a time lapse. I'll try to set my phone up somewhere that's a pretty decent angle, and I'll get the car up on some stands and we'll get to it. Well, in typical fashion, I just now realized after 50 minutes that my phone was not recording. So the car's jacked up, got pretty much everything disconnected, and I've started pulling out the trans bolts, just disconnected the pitch stop mount, drained all the fluids, got the grounds off. So I think it's just the trans mount, or
Today, Junior?
bolts and motor mounts, and maybe one or two other little things, and then it's ready to come out. But I might have to go get chain. I don't think I have any chains to actually lift it up, so we'll see. All right, engine's ready to come out, I believe. I got the trans jacked up a little bit and started separating it, and I'm gonna set my phone up and try to pull this out. All right, so for anybody that doesn't know, Subaru engines are a super pain in the ass when the transmission and the block itself aren't like lined up right. So pulling them out is like a whole series of like jack up the trans, or lift up the engine and lower the trans, and then pull and then lower and then raise and then pull, and so on and so forth. And then so like that's why you see me going back and forth about a million times. And then there's a dowel that's in the block on the driver's side, like lower near the lower two trans bolts, and I had one hell of a time getting those two free. As always, otherwise this would have been out a while ago, but we just came back outside from taking a break and eating. So I'm gonna lift this thing out now. All right, the engine is out, and I took the clutch off, and you can see it is pretty heated up right there, and it's pretty worn out. There was like chunks of clutch falling off like that. It's pretty horrible, I'm not gonna lie. And then got the engine right here. So I think tomorrow maybe I'm gonna start the teardown, get all the accessories off the intake manifold and some of the other stuff, get the heads taken off of it, and then it's pretty crappy lighting, I'm sorry, but yeah, the flywheel looks like it's pretty heated up, so maybe get that resurfaced. But other than that, I'm happy that I got that out. It's finally like a load off my shoulders, actually getting it started, and you know, it's a lot easier to, you know, take parts off of stuff than it is to put it back together. So, you know, the rest of it's pretty downhill until I start getting all the parts and figuring out what I need. And then when it all goes back together, that's when things are gonna start getting a little bit more hectic. But nonetheless, it's finally done, this part at least, and I'm pretty happy to finally get it out. Other than that dowel pin would not freaking come out, and that was a pain in the. Thanks for watching.